I grew up on a dairy farm. My dad operated it with mules and horses until in '79 I bought this farm. We raised cattle, Belgian draft horses. We have some Percheron draft horses. We raise most of the feed for our livestock. We do all of our haying with the horses. We plant corn, oats, and plant it and harvest it with the horses. I had a good friend, Jimmy Klein, that lived in Louisiana. He farmed with horses and ran a dairy farm at that time. Somehow Jimmy got hooked up with Dick Sparrow, who drives the Coors hitch of Belgians. So he started doing a school with Jimmy, and then me and Jimmy got the idea of doing it, and I came up with the idea that it should be a farming school. Nobody was doing a farming school, and it just, we did the first one in '93. We did about 6 schools for 2 years. Each year we did as many as 6 schools in a year, but now we have cut it to 3 schools a year. And as far as I know, we're the only one in the South that's doing a school like this.
Our clinic is a 4-day clinic. It's all hands-on. You get all your meals with that. You get your housing with that also. Within that 4 days, of course, we can't teach you everything you need to know in 4 days, but you get the basics of harnessing, hitching, and driving. And we always have 3 or 4 different things going on, and there's always an instructor with every different thing.
I was reading the Draft Horse Journal about 2 months ago, and I told my wife, hey, I'd like to go to that. And she looked at that and she says, boy, I would go to something like that, you know, see the country, and so we come.
This is a foot lift plow.
There's a lot of question-answer type situations too, where people ask a lot of questions, and we like that when people ask a lot of questions, because we feel like they're learning when they ask questions, and we can give them an answer to it, possibly to help them when they get home.
It can be dangerous, it can be complicated and all, but you know, when you're under this controlled setting with good instructors and safe animals, then you can think about, well, how do I hitch this? How far back do I need to be? All the little details of it, that when you get back home, you know, you have this living experience to call on.
Kenny's was the only school that you could go to, get on a plow, a mowing machine, a hay loader, any kind of farm implement, and actually drive it, see how it worked, see how the horses handled it and stuff like that. So it was and still is a very unique school in that aspect. That horse is the worst he'll ever be the first day you're working. The tractor is the best it'll ever be the first day. A tractor wears out and depreciates. A horse, when he's a colt, unbroke, untrained, he's got a value, but it's not as much. The more you use him, the more his value goes up. So rather than depreciate, he appreciates, and he continues to improve in his ability to do the work you want him to. Mm-hmm.
Come on. Get up, gal. Get up, back.
We have some folks that do really want to learn to farm, and they actually want to kind of maybe get back to the land or something.
So there's just about 1 million little details, and I guess that's part of it, is that I just wanted to see what it takes to get from a horse in the barn to hitched up and going.
The draft horse has the name of being a real gentle giant. He's a real docile type horse, is what we like for farming. The first thing you'll notice is the size. And of course, the draft horse will weigh anywhere from 1,600 to a ton, some even larger. I think the world's record was set over 3,000 pounds and stood 20 hands or something. He was a huge horse. We like to keep the classes around 10 students or less. It's really better, but we have done a school with as many as 29 in it, but I don't think I'll ever do it again. Oh, we try to build a lot of confidence during this school, get them over that little fear of handling these horses and being able to go out and purchase a team and start hooking it and really having a success with it.
That dirt goes to singing along, and you're out there and you're doing what God gives you to do with, and you're close to the earth, and it brings a contentment.
You can have the worst day in the world out on your job, and when you go home or pull up into the farm there and those horses are there and you go to start feeding them and taking care of them, all that goes away. It's the best feeling that you'll ever get.